Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. So here we've got DarthUnkei versus Headhunter 1329. Yeah, we had the GP disadvantage, we had a Zeta disadvantage, we are ahead on the Omicrons, although I am keen to remind you that 3 of them are on Starkiller, who at this point was only at gear 10. We've got 15 Relic disadvantage, we've got 13 Relic 5 plus disadvantage. However, we have an advantage of 12 in the gear 12s, and we've got advantages in the 6 dot mods and all of the speed categories, although they're all relatively minor advantages. What the key thing here is, though, that we've got 5 GLs, missing Lord Vader, to our opponent's 6. Plus our opponent does have Starkiller built up, so essentially it's like 7. Plus obviously we've both got an Executor. So those are the key plot lines of this match. Let's show you how the board looked. Okay, so on DarthUnkei, we had an interesting front wall with Rey and Lord Vader waiting for us, but let's show you what my defense was first. So, I'd put down Supreme Leader Kylo, we'd got Qui-Gon Jinn, we've got Starkiller, not an 18, but still, the Starkiller comp, and I put Dooku with some Night Sisters down. Down the south, we've got Dash, Finn, Bam, and Rey. Our opposition's defense was a Dooku comp, a Kylo Ren comp, while Kylo Ren unmasked, an Aura Singh Bounty Hunters comp with Zam Omicron, and Finn with Resistance Hero Poe, Veton, Holdo, and Veteran Smuggler Chewbacca. The South Wall, we had Bam, we had Lord Vader, we had Starkiller, and we had Rey. So yeah, that was fun. I was a bit determined to make up for my mistakes with Rey. Well, not with Rey and with Starkiller. So let's show you how those battles went on, because the Starkiller one was the one that was really eating up at me. So I wanted to try and make amends there. So this is how it started with Toucan droids, a Toucan BB-8. We got Mace in the opposition lineup. That was a little bit annoying because he's going to persistently taunt throughout the battle. It also meant I couldn't go straight for Mara Jade. So a few things there that were a bit annoying. Adding the fact that we also got a few debuffs landing on us straight away. This was a bit of a rough start. So yeah, we do manage to get back into it. It's not the worst start, but still, I've had better. My priority is to get Mara Jade out. As much as I remember what I was told the previous round to focus on Visas, I'm also thinking to myself, I need to get Mara out because she can really ramp up both Starkiller and Emperor Palpatine. So I want to make sure she is out, and then we focus on Visas. So yeah, we're just hard focused on it, because I think at the very worst, if we get Mara out, and say Starkiller brings down the sky, then at least we've got a clean up. But I need to get one of them out. I need to give myself a room for a clean up. So we get some target lock. We're doing all right. The issue is Mace is there with damage immunity and taunt. So we're kind of forced to go for him. And we've lost BB-8, fair enough. That will happen. But okay, we can go for Visas. We can go for Mara. I chose Visas because that way no revives. So now we go for Mara. A bit of an unlucky assist there as far as they were able to chain some together there. Mara goes, we're looking good. A little bit unfortunate here, if I'm going to be honest. I honestly thought we could get Mace out in that ability. But as you can see, Starkiller's on 78 stacks. He gets unleashed and he brings down the sky. I've got to say, having not faced a lot of Starkillers, it is actually incredible how fast he charges up with that. Okay, so I did stall the battle at this point, and I haven't cut the stall out, so I'm just going to fast forward throughout that. We did have a follow there, so hello there, Steve, again. But yeah, just skip forward a bit more, and yeah, it was a little bit painful. So around this ballpark in the battle, someone did say to me, why don't you actually try and do an AoE and just get some more health and protection off them? Just try and stall, get some more damage so that the cleanup is a little bit easier, because you've got a lot of turn meter anyway, so maybe just burn some of that out as well. So around the 10-second mark, we do take a turn. We try and get into it. So yeah, I'm just going to move my window again. I remembered. So yeah, we stall. It was a draw, but yeah, at least we got into a clean-up position this time, unlike last round. So what with Sith Eternal Emperor? I was worried here again. We had tripped up doing compositions like this, so I'm thinking we can't afford another trip. So we link L3, we got to link her because she's taunting. And I went for Finn for the simple fact that Finn is an attacker who's going to deal some damage. Maybe I should have gone for Ray. In fact, in the comments, if you've got Sifeternal Emperor, tell me, who'd you target? Did you go for Ray, Finn? Who'd you go for? So yeah, at this point we're just stalling. We gotta wait for C to get his ult. We gotta let them take their turns because they're all going to be deceived at some point or another. So it's just about letting them take turns. Let's C get his ult. The issue I have is what do I do when the ult gets there? Because as you can see, we survive a whirlwind. We're looking quite healthy, in fact. My issue comes with the ultimate. So Ray goes into ult any second now. Ray Jedi Training is annoying with the healing immunity because we can't really do anything about that. So yeah, I'm in a very sticky spot because we're now in the yellow. We're not going to get health back. We can recover protection, but I'm thinking, what do we do? Now, had I thought about it, what I would have done is I would have linked 2 targets. It would have given me 2 turns essentially where I could have tried to get rid of the healing immunity, but also it would have given me a chance to get some protection back. But again, I am still new to Sifeternal Emperor on offense, so I decided to ult. And I really wish I didn't. I was hoping there was a bit in his kit where it would get rid of lock debuffs, but I don't know why I thought that. I think I was looking in hope rather than expectation. But yeah, I was asking the chat at this point, what should I do? I didn't get a response in time, so I ulted. Yeah, it's painful because, as you see, any second now, we get nuked. So, lesson learned, link, don't ult. I did say it when I took over this account, this season would be a lesson. It would be learning lessons with toons that I've not used a lot. So, lesson learned. Okay, so JML versus Lord Vader. I haven't done this for a couple of rounds. I'd used Slacker and Zombie, so I thought let's go back to Lord Vader. My concern about using JML had been that I was worried I wouldn't be able to deal enough damage in time. We'd had that timeout a few rounds back, and it was weighing on my mind a bit. I thought maybe we're going to struggle if we keep using it. I think it's a bit naive in some ways that I had that mentality for the fact that JML is Rally 9. He's got a lot of true damage potential. I think what happened that day, it was just either a well-modded Lord Vader or I was just misplaying. I would like a feedback on that from anyone who can give it to me. But my gut says it was a bit of both in all fairness. So yeah, Vader takes his ult, no big surprises there. We're aiming to get our ult before, or hopefully by the time he's done his AoE with the ability blocks that are unresistible or undispellable. So here it goes. So again, we're kind of stuck now. We can't use specials, so we can't charge up JML's ult, so we're just stalling a little bit. We're going to go for Shore Trooper. He's taunting, so why not? Yeah, thankfully we were able to get our abilities back. I thought, do I do that or do I do Efflux? So I used Inherited Teachings. We used the coin. So yeah, just pass that to JML. We've got our ult ready. I'm not particularly fond of how many... I don't particularly like how locked down I feel there, though, with Hoda getting fractured. So we need to get into our ult. We need to get control of the battle back. So my priority is getting Thrawn and Maul out. So thankfully, JML tanks this a bit. Just a bit. But yeah, I'm feeling really exposed here. It's like, this is so dangerous, so dangerous. We are able to recover a little bit. Barris comes in with a bit of a clench heal to get JML back to fighting fitness. We're able to get Thrawn out, maybe not this turn, but the turn after, just so that Hoda's back in the game. So yeah, we get into it. That is the important thing, because it felt like when Hoda was locked down, we were kind of struggling. I keep going for Efflux as well. I've seen some streamers don't use Efflux, they just focus on the coin, the Inherited Teachings. But me personally, I've been trying to use Efflux just to get ability block and to just keep him locked down so he's not using as many abilities. When it's JML, I use his 2 specials in pairs, whereas with the other tunes, I use the inherited teachings. Again, maybe I'm misplaying a little, so let me know if you know better. But right now, that seems to be the strategy that I think works. But yeah, we got the win, 61 banners. Pretty happy with that. We still got to clean up Starkiller, so that was a concern, but we'd also got to clean up Ray. Yeah. I didn't want to go into this battle with Gas to begin with. I mean, Gas is alright now, so that is something, but I didn't really like it. I was thinking, Ray, this Gas is modded for offense, so it means I've really got to time Ray's Whirlwinds with Rex's form ups. It's like there, I was tempted to go for the form up just by natural instinct, and I pulled back. I was like, hang on. And it's a very odd battle when you have to constantly remind yourself what you're doing, because you're stalling a little bit just by playing it cautiously. It's where, as off-meta counters go, this one is nasty, because you've got to fight against your natural way of playing. So yeah, Ray does a Whirlwind, Gas sits down. I'm just waiting for Rex to come into the game, which he does, I believe, here. There we go, we form up. That gives us enough turns to get Gas back up. So as far as how this battle went, I was very happy up to this point because we were playing it quite well. I believe everyone's actually gone to damage immunity at this point as well. So we're in a very good position because once Ray's done a ult, we should be able to do one big AoE and kill them all. So there's a lot of potential to actually get a nice cleanup. So yeah, we're just kind of stuck waiting for Ray to ult. As always, it seems like Ray's ult is always a problem. I do try and get some days on the field, want to just control them. Yeah, this ult's taking forever. It's the trouble with the reduced speed from Ray. There she goes. So we do sit down again. Yeah, so at this point again, I'm just kind of stalling. I don't want to kill him because I know that if I kill him, there's going to be that. So yeah, it went from looking great to looking horrendous. Thankfully Gas got back up, Ark didn't die. So yeah, we're in a sticky spot here. Ray doesn't have a Whirlwind. Ark had got no chance of standing up here. Let's be honest, he got no chance. So yeah, another Whirlwind. And Ray is ready for an ultimate. So yeah, cleanup 1 did not work. And it was brutal because not only did it not work, it was a painful execution as well because we couldn't even get BB-8 out. So we had to go in for another one. We took in Geos. And this was interesting. I'm going to call it interesting because I had heard that Geos could clean up Ray, but I didn't know if they could do it when she got a side tune. And what I will say, it is a very clean battle if you've got high level Geos, which these are. Now, if I were to try this on my Crimson account where I've got Relic 1 Brood and Relic 2 Spy and Relic 1 Sunfac, I'd be 99% confident I would lose this cleanup, just for the simple fact that I would not survive the Whirlwinds. But I think in this group, they've got enough health in their health pool, they're able to tank it. But man, it feels very, very close when you're playing it. Because it's like, yeah, I use that, I think I've got to just build up the health pool. I've got to try and make sure that even if when she goes into ult, I've got to make sure that we've got enough health between us that we can survive the AoE. And it is a bit frightening, it's a bit tense, because you just know she's going to go off, you know she's going to hit you hard, so you're questioning how hard will she hit. And I'm grateful in a way, because even though she does hit us, she doesn't kill us. She damages, but she didn't kill us. So at this point I'm thinking, right, we need to get back under control, we need ability blocks, we need just all manner of control that we can get. The trouble is, Ray's got a lot of self-preservation skills. She can cleanse. So it's a very frustrating battle. I mean, I thought we'll do a nuke, we'll try and just deal some good damage to her. But as you can see, her ult charge is building up again. I try and call the Brute to assist, thinking, all right, the Brute's got decent damage. He's actually the highest damage dealer in the team. So I thought, let's call him to assist, see if we can do that. But maybe it's just me. I'm looking at this now. Ray looks like she's healing up. So I'm kind of waiting for Spy to come back around for a heal. Not for a heal, sorry, for a big hit. I'm just not getting enough damage on her. And she's back at ult. With one turn away from the big hit from Spy. And yeah, I am fretting this now because I'm thinking, oh god, we have got to survive another ult. And I know there might be people who play this at the top end who are like, oh, what are you worrying about? You know, you're going to be fine. Of course you're going to be fine. But me, I was just so glad to see the back of her there. I thought, you get gone. So I chose to do a very OP counter, in my opinion, here. I say OP for the fact that I like bounty hunters to take on the likes of Darth Revan. So to throw this at BAM, it felt like I was paying BAM as much respect as I could afford. Now, I know a lot of top streamers do bounty hunters versus BAM because it's a clean way of getting BAM out quick. But me personally, I would prefer using something else. Not that... it's more the fact that I don't like using something else on Darth Revan, really. But yeah, we got away with it. You know, BAM goes out. It's a clean battle. I think we lose Aura just for the fact that this Aura is really squishy. But as far as the 4 tunes that remain, it was a pretty comfortable battle. Yeah, as counters go, this is actually a good one. I mean, I joke a lot about myself, how I just don't like imps versus Darth Revan. I prefer bounty hunters, but as this battle goes, it was very comfortable. I can actually justify using this as a BAM counter quite comfortably. Yeah, but as an experiment, maybe I need to try it more. Or at least try the imps more. I have put imps into my arena team. And I've said, right, I've dropped down as far enough that Darth Revan's pop up. So my theory is that if I keep facing Darth Ravens, hopefully I can keep practicing every day. But in the meantime, it's a little bit dicey. So right now I'm fretting because I'm thinking, Mando, please don't die. I need you, Mando. Thankfully, Bosca's there. He gets a taunt. We're able to kill Candy. We're then able to kill IG-11. And even though Bo-Katan's quite powerful on her, well, in a team, she's pretty squishy on her own. So bye-bye, Bo. Bye-bye. So yeah, 61 banners. We could have got 62, but 61's a fair score there. Okay, so I didn't really know what to take into clean up here, so I thought we're going to use Wampa. At the time, I didn't want to do this. I had a feeling something on the back wall would justify Wampa. So actually throwing Wampa at this felt like a bad play. I was watching Bitcoin earlier today, and he did describe it as... He was talking about... I can't remember what team counter he was talking about. He was saying how sometimes you'll gamble, and then because you've gambled, you've got to use cleanups. And that kind of how it felt, that Wampa was a cleanup I really didn't want to have to use. And yeah, it wouldn't say it cost us just on that, but it was a symptom of the entire round here that losing the initial Star Killer battle and then having to use gas and geos, it just meant that I was losing banners, obviously, but I was using teams I didn't really want to use. I mean, gas could have gone somewhere else. So could geos. I could have used geos on another team, I'm sure. So it felt like a heavy price. And yeah, I wouldn't like paying that price every round. I mean, thankfully, this is an easy counter. I wouldn't have used Wampa here. I'd have used Iden every day in this battle. So thankfully, it is the counter. We didn't have a struggle here. But again, when you've got Wampa, you know we can take out certain trouble teams like GG. Iden on defense is a big one as well if they haven't got enough potency. But yeah, you don't want to be stuck against something that you know Wampa would face and win. So that was on my mind, and yeah, we did face something. I can't remember what it was offhand. We're going to see the Batwall teams as we watch this video. But yeah, that was my concern. It did come to fruition a little bit that we would have to think outside the box a little bit as far as counters. Anyway, this battle's so comfortable. I mean, I want to actually build it up a bit more. I mean, I'm working on the shards for Iden. I want to get her to 7 stars so she's actually fast. She can keep taking turns. And also so that her potency increases. That might give her a bit of defensive viability. But right now, I'm thinking to myself, Iden's the priority, but at some point I'd like to give Magma a bit of gear to get to Relic. Maybe even boost the Relics on the team a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. Now, this is what I was thinking about with Wampa. I didn't really want to be doing this. Even though Talon has got an Omicron, and these are Relic Triumvirate, I didn't particularly want to be doing this counter. Because I remember when Iden came out, the consensus was that you needed high Relics to win. So my thoughts were, if I can get away with it because they're low Relics, then we're going to be good. But it felt dicey. It felt like it was a counter I shouldn't have been trying. But we did seem to get away with it. And the whole point of it is that there's a lot of attacks out of turn in this team. So even if it's kind of slow, because they don't use like geo amount of out of turn attacks, but they are still there. So you're kind of wary about it because you think it's a slower battle, let's say that. It's not like an obvious, all right, they go straight down to red and you just AoE them. You've got to just wait for them to take their turns. And it also didn't help in a way that I isolated Iden. I wanted Iden to go slow. It was deliberate that I isolated her, but to be honest, I probably would have been better isolating someone like Magma, who reduces turn meter. And then, I don't know, maybe annihilating Iden from the off. But either way, we got through with it. It wasn't a bad battle, it's just... Again, this was a counter I didn't want to use, so you could argue I lost banners. You know, instead of getting 68, I ended up getting 60. So, yeah, it's where my hand was forced a bit. Dash Rendar, not a big comp. We got Boba in there, but it wasn't like the most menacing team. There wasn't prepared tunes or anything. So, well, natural prepared tunes. So, sorry, I say natural prepared tunes. It sounds like they've come off the farm, like they've been free range. But yeah, these guys weren't going to do anything special, so it was a pretty easy cleanup for JKR. Even if Dash had got a turn, we would have been able to cleanse comfortably, so this was a clean battle if you ever saw one. 65. And then I believe this is the final Batwall team. Oh no, this is front wall again. We took in some leftover bounty hunters. Very comfortable again. We can trigger a lot of AoEs in this group, so we were able to get Django's contract very fast. I did try and go for Poe there just because he was going to take a lot of turns, and I used the AoE to hit as many targets as we can. Bit of a stall, sadly. Double tap, that does trigger the contract a bit more. Double tap again, I believe there. Well, no, we do an execute. Double tap there. Nope, double tap here. I'm in the mood for double taps, it seems. So yeah, we go for Vet Chewie. I'm surprised Fennec didn't get Chewie out there, to be fair. Not a lot of banner recovery here, sadly. But it was a clean battle. So 63. I'll say clean battle. We didn't lose a toon. Now, this was, I wouldn't say sketchy, but it wasn't as clean as I would like. Just for the fact that we were using tunes that, whilst good, you know, you got Vader and Thrawn there, we'd also got Royal Guard, Tarkin and Krennic. And, okay, Royal Guard got a bit of stick there, but he's actually good now. But, yeah, Krennic and Tarkin, they're very much here just to help out. You know, they're just kind of hanging around. My hope was that Krennic at the very least could get maybe a bit of stagger, land some debuffs. And to his credit, he does some things, but I felt I needed more. I didn't think that Vader and Thrawn alone would cope, and I wanted more than just Royal Guard. Just to bump Vader up a little bit, in all honesty. So maybe I could have played this a bit differently, but it was a banner sniping team this that I was facing. So yeah, painful in a way because you can't really recover much. You can't really get Thrawn out often enough. Maybe Thrawn lead would have been better. I could have used Thrawn's special, but I don't know. I'm second guessing here. I don't really think that would help much. So yeah, just a very dirty battle. I mean, thankfully we got a stun there. It did recover some of the damage, but we weren't able to recover the health on Royal Guard here, so it was still pretty bad. What do we get? 50, oh, I thought we were on 59. 61, so 4 banners down. Okay, so CLS versus crew. I remember doing this at the time, and in the chat it was like, oh, hang on, this could be dangerous. And yeah, I will agree, it's not a clean counter. I've done it a few times. In fact, before Ralix, this was a go-to counter of mine. I thought, yeah, CLS can easily take down crew. But the Ralix have definitely made this a harder counter. Or softer, depending on your point, which way you're looking at it. Yeah, CLS now applies that many debuffs that it becomes a little bit tricky to kill crew and Kylo for the fact that they are constantly healing up off the amount of debuffs that you're landing. The reason why I went in is because we got C-3PO, and 3PO is going to keep stacking down. Well, he's going to land exposes, but we're also going to build up our damage with him. So in my mind, I'm thinking, yes, it's going to be a slog. We're going to have to try and time our abilities right, but in theory, we should be able to get through it. It's just about making sure we don't play badly. I mean, it's like that, you're looking, you're thinking, damn, we just didn't get enough damage in that hit. But you can do it, it's just, again, it's a slog. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking here and I'm thinking, you're just hoping these big hits. I mean, like that, we got Kylo at one shot, and that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for these really, really big hits. And you can get them. It's just when they don't land, you get those kind of things where crew just basically says, I'm healing up. So yeah, it's slow torture in some ways. 65 banners though, so it was worth it, but it was a challenge. Next battle, we did Imperial Troopers versus Bounty Hunters. And yeah, this is about as safe a counter as you can go for. So we go straight for Cad. I'm not entirely sure, I mean, it makes sense putting Cad in there as a false taunt, but Cad ain't going to taunt for you. He is not a taunting dude. In fact, Cad would probably kill you if you made him taunt. Rambam, thank you for the follow, by the way, again. So yeah, this was fun. That's the only way I can put it. I got imps left over. Why not use them? But it was overkill. That was a massive overkill. So we're on to ships. This one was annoying. I was saying at the time, I don't like taking Echelon in from the start, and I did it this time because I thought I want to just see if I'm right that it's a bad starting tune versus Rebels. And in short it is, because when you do Echelon's special, there is reduced damage from Silencer and Command Shuttle. And that essentially gives both the Y-Wing and the X-Wing time to take turns, and also time for Falcon to get outmaneuver. So you are better starting with Special Forces and then bringing in Echelon. It just feels wrong. I don't know about anyone else. Echelon is such a great ship that it really feels like a bad call to leave it behind. So at this point, I'm trying my best to control these sides, because I think if I get stuck behind a taunt, which I am at this point, I'm stuck behind 2, I'm not going to be able to get to Falcon when it decides to do outmaneuver. So I'm desperate to try and get around them. It's like they're a basic, I think. Echelon goes, oh god, this is horrible. I actually thought I was going to lose at this point. So we managed to get Rebel Y-Wing out, I believe, here. But once again, we are really trying to get to the Falcon before it uses outmaneuver. So we pass the turn to Silencer. We get a stun, I believe. Yeah, we get the stun, which is important. And again, we're just feeding Temmin to the team because, well, actually, no, we buffed a spell, sorry. Yeah, that was nasty from Wedge. So yeah, we got advantage, so I thought let's go for Biggs. We get him out, that's good. I pass another turn to Silencer, that stuns Falcon. I've got to say, we landed some clutch stuns here. Any one of those stuns didn't land, we were out of this. So thankfully I was able to bring in the normal First Order TIE pilot, and we got the kill. At this point it's clean up, but this is a lesson. Do not start Echelon in these battles. It's a banner stealer. You can bring it in. It'll probably protect your banners once the job's done with Falcon. But those initial the initial salvo, you do need Special Forces. So yeah, 66. Moving on to the next one, we did Malevolence versus Empire. Interesting battle. That's the way I'll put that. I've said it a few times, the Empire has become a lot better in recent months. I mean, I think Arnold has talked about it in recent videos he's done, where the GA meta is, well, the idea of having 3 fleets on defense in GA plus the new ships we've had like Echelon and Star Fortress, it's essentially given a place in the meta for Empire. So I do completely agree there. It's been very interesting just seeing Empire become a very, I wouldn't say menacing fleet, but annoying. You've got to make sure you've got a counter to it. You can't just take some shoddy leftovers in against it. You've got to take a good fleet. And I'm grateful. I did have a good fleet here. Malevolence were more than up for the challenge, but yeah, shoddy banners. 70s seems good, but yeah, I didn't feel it. Come on, JJ. Click. There we go. So final one, we did Negotiator versus Radis. Again, this was pretty comfortable. Yeah, Radis is an interesting one as well. I've faced a few Star Fortresses now, and it seems better when it's high star. I've faced a couple that are really low, like 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, and they don't do much. They kind of just zap banners. But then you face some that are reasonably well built, and they are actually quite annoying. Just for the fact that there's a lot of counter chance, there's a lot of survivability in them, protection recovery. So what I will say, you can't sleep on Star Fortress. I'm farming it on this account, and I think when it's built, it will be quite a menace. Whereas right now, I don't think anyone's struggling against it. So I'm curious how it goes. I'm curious what people will be thinking when it's more common in the wild, as it were, when people have had time to farm it up naturally. I mean, I might use it a bit myself on offense in the future once I think it's at 6 or 7-star, just to see how it plays, because Radis is a good fleet. And it'd be nice to be able to put a Negotiator on defense and just say, right, you know, you deal with that. Because especially if someone hasn't got Second Sister, Negotiator will still be a tricky fleet. So, yeah, that's my thought process. It'd be nice to be able to free the Radis, but right now, I think it's better just holding my defense line a little bit. So yeah, there goes Poe. Resi Pilot's not going to do much here. I mean, it tries, but Foresight won't protect it for long. So, those are the battles done. Let's show you the final score. Yeah, so DarthUnkei's result, that was a bit rough. 1827 to my 1769. And I would say a lot of it comes down to the fact that my opponent was efficient. I dropped battles that I couldn't afford to drop. Looking again at Starkiller and Ray there, my opponent one-shot pretty much everything. I don't think they tripped up on Kenobi. No trips. So you can't afford trips at this level, really. And it's frustrating because I feel like as far as GG, that was a safe counter. I feel unlucky that I had to two-shot it. And the Ray, that comes down to naivety on my part. I should have planned the ult better. But yeah, even then, I would still been behind. So I can't really say much more other than it's frustrating. But these are the breaks. So 0-2 for DarthUnkei at this final round. Let's hope that we can end the season on a high. So Temmin followed up DarthUnkei, and yeah, we had a very minor GP lead. Pleasant to see, to be honest. I don't really like seeing like 2-3 million on me, or vice versa. We had 19 disadvantage on Zetas. We had 1 more GA Omicron. We had 10 more total relics. We were behind on the Relic 5 pluses by 3. We were behind on the Gear 10. The Gear 12s by 9. But we were ahead on the speed mods by quite some distance again, so that was good. As far as GLs though, 1 versus 2, we both had JML, my opponent had SLKR. So that was a bit of an interesting conundrum. How are we going to cope with 1 versus 2? Okay, so Temmin, interesting front wall as far as we got Darth Rev and JML staring us straight in the face. Let's go into a bit more detail though. Okay, so first off, my defense. We've got Geonosians, we've got Dad Bob Bulba, Padme, and Dash, so not a lot of change from previous rounds, to say the least. We got Wedge up front, Gas, GG with Newt, and Darth Revan. Now, my opponent, we saw a bit of it. We got Darth Revan and GG, we got Phasma, and we've got Bosk. Down south, we've got Qui-Gon Army, but Old Ben and Bastil are in there, so that makes it slightly weaker. We've got JML without an ultimate. We've got Akbar Army with Princess Leia Army. So first time I've faced, or one of the first times I've faced that, I think. So quite interesting for me there. And Shakti clones. That's after me saying in the week that I don't particularly like facing Shakti clones, so I found that quite amusing. So let's show you how we got on. Alright, so first things first, we took on the JML. I want to get the mirror out of the way. So, yeah, this was pretty straightforward. I tried to save as many good Jedi as I could. I think in the chat at the time, I was saying, should I give up JKL or should I put GMY in there? But personally, I like the Lukes together. If I'm going to put the Lukes in a team, they're going to be together. I prefer that rather than splitting them up. If I got another high damage dealing Jedi like Cam, or even if I could spare gas because I actually like the I like using Shaq clones, I would consider JKL lead somewhere. But honestly, how things are right now, I'm happy with JKL here. Saying that though, maybe one day soon I'll put Shaq lead in. It might just confuse people. But yeah, as things stand, this was a fairly routine match. They hadn't got an ult, obviously, so that was counting against them. I do think there was a thing where, because I'll admit this a couple of days since I've played this match now, when I was doing defense setting, I may not have been anticipating JML being on defense, so I wasn't really expecting to have to use do a mirror. It was either that or I was thinking that GG might be unreliable, so that's the reason we didn't go off meta on this one. Besides that though, as you've seen plenty of times, I do JML mirrors quite comfortably. You can get the odd bad result depending if you're outsped or out-ulted, or even out-tuned. If you've got more stronger tunes on the opposition side than what you take in, then there will be an issue. But none of those were present here. So yeah, pretty good match. Good start as well. I think that's the key thing with GA sometimes. You need a good start. You need to feel like you've got banners in you. There have been rounds in recent weeks where I've been starting. DarthUnkei this week is a good example where you get back-to-back losses and you're suddenly thinking, I need to get a win. I need to get a win on the board. So a round like this is perfect. You know what I'm going to do as I did last time? I'm just going to move screen. Here we go. I feel like I'm looking at the match rather than just looking away from it. So yeah, they were never going challenges at this point. I mean, to be fair, we've got an ult, so we were always going to have that advantage anyway, but it just became a bit more clearer. I mean, at this point I was actually stalling. I thought, can I damage Hoda for a bit just to try and recover a few extra banners, but yeah, we didn't really have hope. I mean, maybe we got a banner back there with Hoda, but I think that's probably a bit of hope there. So, Akbar Army, I thought I'm going to try my Imperial Troopers. We outspeed Princess Leia, so the main gist of what I thought was, let's get Captain Han out, just prevent revives, and then we can go for the damage dealers. And this was comfortable. I mean, this is why I love Imperial Troopers, and I'm sure it's the same for everyone else, that I've got poor troopers. You know, the only one here with any relics is Piet. Gideon, I think, is gear 8 or 9. Death, I don't think is 7-star. Sure, I don't think is 7. Well, it might be 7-star. Sure, I don't know for sure. Oddly enough, but yeah, there's barely any gear on these troopers. Yet they can take out a full relic team with Omicrons just based on the fact that they're a more superior team. So I mean, I love Akbar Army. I think it's got some great potential on defense, but I think it also shows how I'm attacking it, that I need to make sure I put some speed into it. So ahead of 3v3 next season, I think that's what I'll be doing. I'll be trying to get Princess Leia a little bit quicker, at least to try and make Imperial Troopers a bit of a more expensive counter. Okay, so Shaq clones, I thought, we have got General Grievous up north, but I've got Wampa now, so I thought I can just spare JKR for this. So my priority at this point was I want to get Shakti out. I thought that will at least prevent the retribution from going around, because as you can see, 5s has got it, but we don't want any more than 5s. 5s is too many. So a little bit of a misplay there, I would say. it wasn't the worst misplay, but I really should have put buff immunity down straight away instead of trying to pass turns around. Plus, with buff immunity, it meant I had to taunt with old Ben. I don't feel like this is a big, massive misplay. I don't think it costs banners, but, well, it may be a few protection banners now I'm saying that, but I don't think it was something where you look back and go, the result of the match would have been different. So yeah, this is just one way you're looking at misplays as you go along, and that was minor. So yeah, once Fives is gone, we go after Rex, because obviously he's the one who's got the big hit. Last thing you want is him taking out Jolie. So yeah, once Rex is gone, it's full steam ahead. No real challenge, so I'm grateful for that. You know, you don't want a difficult battle when you're using something that I consider expensive in JKR, so yeah, very comfortable win. So this was a good start in my opinion. I think we had 3 pretty comfortable wins. It was all about, can we avoid any major mistakes? And yeah, we did something silly here. I tried Bad Batch against Qui-Gon. Oops. In my defense, I did ask the chat. I did say, do you think my Bad Batch could survive a JK AoE? And the answer was yes. So I've tried it, and he didn't. So we now know, do not gamble Bad Batch with a Rally 5 JKA. So moving on, I took in the harder counter, which was Palpatine and Vader. Now, I was in a bit of a sticky spot with how the turns landed, because we got ability block on Thrawn, which meant that I couldn't get Fracture out onto Anakin. So yeah, this is difficult. With hindsight, what I might have been better doing would have been going Thrawn lead, so that I could then try and just get a turn back to Thrawn a bit quicker via Thrawn's special. But yeah, this was very awkward. I mean, I don't know what I could have done to play this better, if I'm being honest. Old Ben was annoying here. Even though he isn't buffing Jedi Anakin, he was making it hard for me to get to him. Because obviously I couldn't dispel the taunt. I couldn't get to Anakin because I couldn't cycle back to Merciless quick enough. So yeah, this was a very annoying battle. I mean, I just couldn't do anything here. I was just stuck on... Oh, saying that, I did misplay there. I should have gone for Anakin. But yeah, very annoying battle that. So I thought I need to clean up. I tried taking my very puny triumvirate with Sidious in. I tried 4-manning it just for the fact that I was hoping it would be enough. The downside is I need Trey's second Zeta. And that might have helped a little bit, because Anakin was getting healing immunity onto us, but we weren't cleansing. I'll say healing immunity, it was healing immunity and buff immunity, so it meant Sion, despite him being very weak, he was not tanking. Yeah, it was a tough battle. I mean, I'm looking here and I'm thinking it wasn't going to get better either. But you're hoping at this point, when it's Nihilus versus Anakin, you're thinking, all right, can we at least get the Annihilate? And then, yeah, Anakin does back-to-back turns. So at this point, I'm a bit frustrated because we've used three teams, and I'm thinking, can we burn something really small? So I thought, let's use Jawas. I've got very, very little gear on Jawas, but I thought, could we at the very least just burn Anakin down with them? And yeah, he got rid of all of them, didn't have a single detonator on him, and really, I should have backed out there. I should have had another go in the red. But yeah, I'm getting worried now because I'm thinking I've got to burn something off decent. Really, I should have gone for this straight away. I should have gone straight to this instead of Jawas. Maybe even this instead of the Triumvirate. But yeah, still, this is a good cleanup. I've got to keep remembering First Order, because Crew and his Irresistible Stun, it's a bailout clause just in case you need it. So yeah, if in doubt, use Crew. Okay, so as I said, we used one per army against GG, and I've been talking in my guild. I've seen someone has howled a one per on defense with GG. I don't know how they did it, as far as I don't know what the person they faced did, obviously, but there is obviously a chance you can lose these matches just based on that. But how I've been playing them, I don't see how you do it. I mean, I know there is a chance that you get stuck behind Droideka, Also, I will say in defense of my guildmate, he has got Relic 7 droids. They aren't a bit like this where you got a Gear 12 or Relic 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever. They're all Relic 7, so maybe that goes in his favour, that someone takes in a weaker Wampa and the droids just stack enough damage between them to take the Wampa down. But equally, I look at this and I think it seems a very safe match. I mean, as long as you're cycling enough turns to get back to the Womp ability, to get your protection back up, then it's very hard to kill the Wampa. So yeah, I just look at it and I go, maybe I'm just having good luck with it right now. But even with the damage immunity on Droideka, I just don't see how you can get stuck unless you misplay. And even then, it's quite hard to misplay. So I am curious if you guys ever seen someone lose with Wampa to GG, because it seems very hard to lose. You just get so much tenacity, you get so many passive stat bumps with going in solo. So yeah, for me, this is interesting. I will be taking this in most of the time if I've got the option anyway. So what are you guys doing? But yeah, GG really doesn't stand a chance here. Once upon a time, GG was the most threatening thing on defense, whereas now I think he's become the most offensive team in the game. Ironically, I've put him on defense this round. So yeah, we're taking Bounty Hunters versus Darth Revan. I'm happy using this counter, I've said it plenty of times. If the speeds line up, I'm going to use it. We take DR out. Next priority is getting BSF out so she can't fear the group. Thankfully, we got quite a bit of damage on our side, or it feels it. We've got plenty of turns and damage, I should say. So we're just going to keep taking pot shots at Bastila. She does get a fear out, which is a bit annoying. At this point, I did check. I thought, have we actually got the ability to wipe out someone with the mass assist? And I believe we did. There we go. So we get some buffs. We're stuck behind Malik's taunt, unfortunately. We can't really do much about it, but Mando can. So, oof. You gotta love the Bounty Hunter's resolve. So yeah, the taunt's down. We can go back for HK. Put some more bombs down. It won't do any damage to Malik, but at least we're not hitting him. So yeah, again, we're just whittling down HK at this point. We're stalling for Mando's next Annihilate. I really don't like it when we end up hitting Malik because it means we get feared and we've got to recover protection. So yeah, really, I shouldn't have done that as well. I should have just basicked. I think I was more worried about boss getting feared, but I forgot about the probability I'd fear the whole group. So yeah, I lose banners here because I don't bring Aura back, but 64 is still a pretty solid score against the DR team. Next up, I took in some scrappy bounty hunters versus this nuke team, and that was my hope, as you just saw. I was hoping I could get Baze out pretty early and work from there. Now, for the record, this team actually does okay. You wouldn't think it, but it does okay. The issue comes down to the fact that it's not a good team. I mean, I'm looking and thinking IG and Queel, I think Queel's gear 9, IG at this point is gear 8. I've gone to gear 9 the last couple of days. So, they aren't suited for killing something like this. But I thought if we could get Baze out, then there's no taunting tank and we can just work our way around the targets. But the issue is getting Baze out, because he is quite tanky even at gear 10. Then you've got the likes of Django. Django is random. If he decides to go for one of my weaker toons like IG or Queel, that's a free kill for him. And if we do actually whittle him down alive, it's annoying because it means he goes back to square one. We do get to Charuta out at that point, I forgot his name. So Bulba is capable of soloing this, and that's the whole hope of this, in fairness. We aren't really expecting Greedo or Embo to do anything here. They're just there to try and speed up the contract a little bit. But yeah, the contract's pretty simple, just kill the first enemy to take a turn. So Bulba could probably do that on his own, but it helps having the droids. But look at that. Dooku counters. You can't see IG's health, I can't either, but it's safe to say he wasn't doing good at this point. So, yeah, it was a bit rough because we got Django on his own at this point. Embo's on death's door. I'm just hoping at this point we can somehow get away without losing someone. And yeah, Django decided differently. So that was frustrating. We managed to get Django out with the execute, 58 banners. I'm frustrated because that had been a 60th. We could have just got... but if IG would have lived. Now, this Mon Mothma team at the back, the Rebel fighters were poorly geared by comparison to Mon Mothma. We've got gear 11s, gear 8s, gear whatevers. So Mon was Relic 5, as you'd expect for JML, but the rest weren't. So I thought Night Sisters should be able to cope here. If there's more gear on the Mon Mothma team, Night Sisters aren't safe. I mean, you'd think they would be, considering it's similar mechanics to Geos, but yeah, I feel like the AI is just a little bit smarter with Mon Mothma. I'm not sure, or maybe it's just the fact there are different mechanics at work compared to a Geo lineup. That's probably the more likely thing. But yeah, I thought with the lower gear, even though they're going to take as many turns as they would with higher gear, I thought we've probably got a safer chance here. The risk was, if they go for Daka, as always, then there's a concern. So we're just playing the odds here in a sense. We're just hoping Daka lives. So we're taking down priority targets. We're trying to get Kara out. We're trying to get HRS out. We're trying to make sure we go for power next. At this gear level, Kal-Katarn's not a big concern. He's annoying, but he's not like the biggest threat on the board. So yeah, we're just trying to make sure we get rid of the turn meter mechanics, i.e. HRS. We're trying to make sure we get rid of the tank. But yeah, at this point, it's looking a bit dicey. I mean, we just lost turn meter. I do a basic because I think we could do with the basic, but yeah, we've lost Daka. Thankfully, Asajj is still in the game, so that's something, but then we lose Spirit as well. And yeah, I am worried at this point because I'm thinking, you know, we've got 2 tunes left. I'm thinking, do I special get the health back and try and work from there? Or do I do what I did, which is I gambled on a basic, which would get someone back, and then hopefully we could kill the rest of them. That's 2 rounds in a row I have done a gamble on the Night Sisters. And both times it paid off, so I will admit the Night Sisters have been giving me some very good RNG this week. But honestly, do not do that if you don't need to. I mean, I need to get Daka at Rallic. I need to. She is on my favourites, but Arc Trooper is ahead of her. So hopefully soon, Dak. Hopefully soon. But like this, I'd feel safer if she was Rallic. So we did CLS versus these bounty hunters. That is rare for me. I usually take Rayan, but I thought Zam's pretty quick there with Bosk, so I thought let's just make sure we don't get outsped. So yeah, I'm not sure what was taking me so long to take the first turn here. I'm going to say, come on Josh, what's going on? Yeah, 20 seconds for a first turn. I must have been chatting. But yeah, at this point it's a case of who we're going for. I think I made a wrong choice there. I should have gone for Bulba a bit early. I think we'd have gone for Bulba because Boss was pretty much trapped at that point. We'd have been okay, but wow, 3PO and Chewie was taking no prisoners there. So 65, it didn't matter. So I'm not sure if this is the final battle or one of the final battles, but we did Rey Jedi Training versus Phasma. And I was expecting a cleaner battle than this, I will be honest. I felt like this was overkill going in, and it was anything but. So I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like Phasma has had a renaissance of sorts. She's not an A-team leader by any stretch. She won't ever make the Kyber club or anything like that, but I find she's one of these teams that if you are a bit like myself, where you've not got a lot of teams, I mean, at 6 million GP, I feel like I've got barely enough to just wing a lot of these battles. If you're a bit like Crimson on the other hand, where you've probably got less than what you need, Phasma can be that annoying team that you just can't beat because you run out. And yeah, it's something that'll probably rectify itself down the line, you know, as more teams come out, more teams get built up. Phasma again will just shift down the line and be a case of, yeah, there's something to beat Phasma, of course there is. But I think right now again, I've got Crimson on my mind, but even for Temmin, if I'd have lost with this Rey comp, I don't think I got much left in my roster. So I would have then been scrambling for someone to clean up Kylo. And that is annoying, as we saw a few weeks ago. So yeah, I think it's worth just keeping an eye out for Phasma teams, just because even when I do notes before a round, and I'm thinking, right, I can use this team on this team, this team on this team. There are a number of times when I've seen Phasma as a repeat defense offender, and I'll just write down question mark versus Phasma, not because there aren't counters to Phasma, but because I'm thinking I don't know what I'll have left. So usually the Phasma cleanup is a flex team. It's like something that I've got left over. So Bad Batch is the good one, but other than that, it's like something like this, which I haven't had a battle against. So yeah, I find Phasma a very interesting case study as far as what happens when you have when you have got teams left over. Essentially, what do you take in against it? All right, so I'm just going on to this for a second. I wasn't concerned about this as far as gear, because this Iden team have got barely any gear in it. But it did concern me for a little bit for the fact that Iden, as we've seen on DarthUnkei, is a very hard counter to Mon Mothma. So, yeah, I was curious about it. I thought, we aren't going to mess up here, are we? We aren't going to have an accidental loss purely because I gambled on something I didn't need to. But yeah, this was 100% safe. I mean, I don't think we could have got any safer with what I got left. So, yeah, I even tried stalling a bit on Iden here just to see if I could just get some protection back for Pow. But yeah, he just wasn't coming out of that stun lock. So, 62 in the end. Okay, so we went to ships. We took in Negotiator versus Empire. Now, I was talking in chat, I think, on this stream, and there was a conversation about Empire. It's become a very annoying fleet, and I will agree with that. I mean, no one's been in touch with me about my own, so I'm assuming mine's not that annoying. But I look at it and I think, I feel like I have to take Negotiator in most of the time against it now. I mean, it's even a bit concerning when you have to do that and someone's got Second Sister, because if they've got the TIE Interceptor, then they've got a very good counter to Negotiator sitting on defense waiting for it. So then the mindset goes, can I afford another counter? And on Temmin, that's a bit of a big ask, because I've got my Rebels, but Rebels are almost hard countered by Empire. So it's a little concerning for me, I won't lie. I'm trying to farm Resistance fleets as much as I can at the moment on all my accounts, because I mean, I can't spare too much energy for it, but like if I see Poe shards or I see Resistance pilot ships shards, I'm trying to get them for that reason, because I'm not necessarily saying it could beat Empire, but it will free up a fleet for me to then use something against Empire. And right now, that's where I'm struggling. Thankfully got through it, but I'm wary there's going to be rounds where I can't beat an Empire fleet because I haven't got enough fleets. But yeah, in this situation we're doing okay. Geos were here. I took in just plain old Rebels. No big issue. I think we even went underman. We didn't take reinforcements with us. So yeah, this was a very comfortable battle. Lost a bit of protection it seems, but by and large we did fine. So final battle, what was that against? Because I can't remember that. It was against the Mace fleet, wasn't it? Was it Jedi Consular? Oh, that was it. Razor Crest, Y-Wing, and Ray's Falcon. So yeah, we took Geos in. We got a few things in the reinforcements just in case something went wrong, but I wasn't anticipating anything. Yeah, when I was doing this battle, it was a little bit amusing because I was saying this is the first time I faced a Razor Crest in a long time and not felt like it was a massive task taking it down. I mean, when you go in against Executors, you feel like half of the battle is whittling down the Razor Crest. I mean, the other half is Houndstooth, obviously. But even if you get a Houndstooth out, it feels like Razor Crest takes a bit of the battle. So, yeah, this felt like quite a relaxing battle compared to some of those mammoths. I mean, you'd expect it, obviously, but I was grateful. So, yeah, this is the final battle. Let's show you, or let's just wait for this battle to end, and then we'll show you the final score. So have a guess. What do you think the final score for me was? Do you think we did well, or do you think maybe there was room for improvement? Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot I can say here. Headshot Jim didn't attack, so yeah, I can't even report a 10 banner loss or something. So yeah, 1790, a little bit shy of the 1800 golden benchmark as I'm seeing it is right now in Kyber, but we got the win. I'm happy. Okay, so finally for this video, we're going to show you Crimson Infernox versus MJ31. MJ31 had quite a significant GP advantage on me. We're talking 2.1 approximately million GP. 60 Zetas on me as well. We both had 3 GA Omicrons. We both, I was 19 total Relics behind. I'm saying that, I'm double checking I'm right. I was 18 Relic 5 pluses behind. 31 Gear 12s behind. We were behind on the 6 dot mods by 95? 95. Quick maths. Behind on the 15 pluses, but we were ahead on the 20s and 25s. So overall, that was positive. That at least we got something to look forward to, some lead, some advantage. But yeah, you look at the Galactic Legends. I got JMK and SLKR. My opponent got JMK, JML, Sith Eternal Emperor, and Rey. So not great to start with. So we were going to have to pull out some counters. Hopefully they were the good ones, but you be the judge of that. Okay, so Crimson. Crimson had an interesting front wall as far as we've got both Rey, Galactic Legends Rey and Sith Eternal Emperor to face on defense. Now, that looks daunting, but it was a little bit more interesting than that. So, as you can see, my opponent was already attacking when we first got in there. So, they'd already cleared my SLKR, and we got Bounty Hunters being attacked. There was also a Dooku team and a CLS team waiting there. Down the south, Darth Revan, Shakti, Old Republic with Nest, and BAM. So, a lot of the stuff that I put down recently. Now, this is what I faced. We got a Finn team with Rose. We got Crew. We got Sith Eternal Emperor at Gear 12 with 5 Zetas. So obviously, I wouldn't call that an A-team comp to say the least. And we got Rey. Down south, we got BAM, Qui-Gon Jinn with Old Ben in there. So again, that wasn't that threatening just for the simple fact that, one, there was no Anakin, but besides that, there wasn't really a big damage dealer. The most you got really is Cam. Cam gives speed bumps, but there wasn't anything there that made me think, oh, this'll hurt. You got Mon Mothma, and then we got Imperial Troopers. So some interesting stuff to face. So again, let's show you how we're getting on. All right, G-Force, all right. So yeah, we started off on the C team. Like I say, it was Gear 12 Gear 12 with 5 Zetas. So I knew it would fall down pretty easily. So it was all about just making sure we played smart. Like I said, General Grievous with Newt, it's a safe counter. You do need your Grievous to be pretty thick. You can't just go in there with, say, a Gear 8 Grievous, but, you know, if you've got something that's Rally, got some decent health on it, it should do the job. You do need the crit damage, I think, as well, just to keep punching through I mean, I'm thinking of Relic C's here, but, yeah, you do need something with some half-decent damage. But yeah, Gear 12, C didn't stand a chance. The more annoying thing about this battle at this point is actually cleaning up the Sith, because the leadership's still intact, so whenever a Sith ally dies, they all recover health and protection. So at this point, it would have actually been nice if I could have brought in IG-88, because I could have landed target locks, as I am, but his Zeta would have applied healing immunity, or effective healing immunity. So that would have been pretty nice. But yeah, I'm not complaining. This was still a pretty clean counter. It was just a bit more time consuming, which is the downside. But yeah, still, it was a good battle. It was a good way to start off the round on Crimson. I'm just thinking to myself, if I was to get C at some point on this account, I think my first priority would be making sure I build up my Sith Triumvirate. I think if you're going to place them on defense, which I wouldn't really do anyway, but if I was going to, I'd want something like the Triumvirate with them. Either that or I'd put Darth Revan. You need a Team Sith with them. If you put, I mean, maybe you can afford to put Traya on her own, as far as Traya and maybe something like Sidious because of the healing immunity connection, but you can't really afford to just put B Team or C Team Sith in there. Alright, so Rey. I took in JMK. Clean win as far as banners. You know, there was no question I was going to win this without any difficulty. So it was all about just making sure we got through it in good time. I'm not going to run through speed through this just for the fact that some of you may not have seen it. Probably a lot of you have. But yeah, again, this is very straightforward. The only, and I'm going to call it risk, is when Rey ults, there is obviously going to be some damage. You've also got the whirlwinds. But the thing is, we get that much protection up. We've got a lot of stacking health. Or it feels like stacking health. Yeah, it's very hard for them to damage us. Add in the fact that on Rey we've applied healing immunity, so when she's doing lifeblood, she's hurting herself and not going to be able to recover. It's pretty painful for Rey. So yeah, it's a very hard counter, this. We do have to wait out the ult, sadly. We can't just race in there. You know, Rey does do her thing. And it is where I respect those who've come up with the counters for JMK with Rey, because on paper there's a lot that goes against her. So essentially you do need a better team than this, but on the other hand, my opponent, they probably were baiting out JMK with this, or they were hoping I'd use gas. So yeah, it doesn't matter either way. They've probably just put it down to nick banners off me. I wouldn't say nick banners. You know, 65 is as high as I can get with a full team against a GL. But to be fair, if you do see solos, you probably struggle with 65. But yeah, still, I'm pretty happy. It was a clean win, no issues. So yeah, I think we do have to take a time on Trooper here, just for the fact that Major Tom decides to get stuck in damage immunity for a bit. But yeah, very comfortable, very, very comfortable. So yeah, we got the 2 GLs out. That was a positive to the start of the round. I think the issue was to come, to be honest, because as you saw, my opponent was attacking at the same time. So I'm not going to keep showing updates on what happened, because that'll take forever as far as editing this goes. But yeah, there was a bit of pressure going on at the time, because we were thinking, all right, we've got to make sure we keep getting clean wins, just so that our opponent isn't getting a banner advantage. So yeah, Qui-Gon here. I took in Geos. There's no AoE really. Technically Cam has got one, but at that gear level it wasn't going to damage us too badly. So the main concern here was that there was a double tank, Mace or Ben. So a little bit annoying, because it means you can't go straight for Qui-Gon, but again, it's not the most annoying thing either. So I decided to go straight for Qui-Gon, because I thought if we don't go for him anyway, someone will suffer. We go for Ayla, because Ayla is actually the one attacker in the team who's got relics, so she could hurt us. But yeah, we go for Cam. Like I say, Cam's the next damage dealer, so we go for him. Mace is very annoying. In fact, he does kill Soldier. Mace's rework, I feel like it did get undersold a bit. I mean, I've heard Arnold has been saying it was like an okay rework, and I think, you know what, it's actually been very solid. I know that in Territory Wars it's obviously got a bit better, but I feel like especially at the level I'm playing at, I feel like Mace can be really annoying to get around. I mean, I say really annoying, you know, obviously we still win here, but it's one of those where we lost Soldier, the Brute's gone a few times, you know, and you don't want that. You want a very clean battle. So Mace can turn what would have been comfortable battles into a lot messier battles, and it's all down to the fact that he tanks, but he has also got offense boosts. So yeah, maybe that's just me, maybe it's my encounters with Mace, but in general I think maybe it was undersold a bit. Anyway, we've got EP Vader, very comfortable when there isn't anything substantial in the Mon Mothma team. So yeah, not much more I can add really as far as what happens. I was getting messages in the chat at this point, I believe, saying we've got to try and recover banners. I wasn't ignoring that. It was more a case, I thought, we're going to play this smart. We're going to try and make sure that we recover banners where we need them. I think that's what I think it was this one anyway. I don't think it was on another account I was saying this. So yeah, we're going to just try and stall the battle a bit. Do we go for Wedge? Because I think we're still on Lando a little bit. Yeah, so Wedge goes down pretty comfortably. I think we stall a little so that Mon can bring someone back. That's it. Because it's not the worst thing. It means we get more time to get Thrawn another turn to do his protection move. The trouble is he is a bit low on the protection, so getting him back all the way could be a challenge. But let's see. Do we do it? Do we do it? Ooh, a bit short. So it's pretty much impossible at this point to get 65, so 64 will have to do. Still though, pretty comfortable. Imperial Troopers versus BAM. I thought I am not taking chances on BAM. I am playing the A-team card, as it were. I've said it a few times, I don't really like throwing Imperial Troopers at teams on the front wall if I don't need to. just for the fact that they're a very good team. They can come in useful against a lot of things that might be on the back wall. But equally, I thought, if I don't throw them in here now, I might regret it just simply because it could be a trip on BAM and then I'm behind. So I'm taking my own advice. I slipped up a few times on BAM and I'm making sure I don't do it again. So yeah, Grief didn't stand a chance here. Very unfortunate. Well, unfortunate for Grief, very good for us. 64 again, another banner nicked. Jedi Knight Revan versus Imperial Troopers. This was not a problem. I was a bit dubious about who to mark. It was like, well, I thought to myself, Gideon can remove our turn meter, so that's a big issue, but I was also wary of Dark Trooper. I thought even though he's not geared, you don't want him throwing punches your way. So it was a bit of a coin toss in my mind, but I thought turn meter's the more important thing, so let's make sure that doesn't become an issue. So yeah, once Gideon was out the way, we're fine. I'm here again, let me just move this back. There we go. I'm going to have to start moving it before I do it. So yeah, Gas versus Darth Revan. I didn't particularly enjoy this one again, just simply because the Darth Revan team was very weak. So there was an argument that I could have made, I might have felt better if I'd have done Gas versus the BAM and then Imperial Troopers versus this. But saying that, my Imperial Troopers, I still think this would have been overkill here. So whichever way, I think I was overkilling this Darth Revan. It was a full comp, so I couldn't like throw EP at it even if I got it. So it's frustrating. You've got to throw a big team at it, but you don't really want to. I mean, Revan, you know, he's gear 11. He's not going to kill us based on his power, but he's got it. Ooh,
I'm still not.
Okay, don't stop interrupting me. Yeah, he's not going to kill us based on his power because he hasn't got the damage, but he's got his debuffs, he's got his mechanics, so he can still cause us problems. Anyway, we got through it. Ewoks versus Bounty Hunters. Now, this is the point when I will say I got cocky. I got overconfident. I misplayed as well. I was hard focused on Bosk for some reason. I don't know why. It's the wrong turn order. Once you've got Boss locked down, you've removed his turn meter, you go for the one that can kill you, which is Boba. And yeah, I was stuck on Bosk. I don't know why. I was completely going against the Ewok playbook. And yeah, I regret it because even now I'm still going for Bosk. In my mind, I should have clocked at that point going, hang on, Boba's just got a good hit against you. You know, why are you ignoring Boba? Not to mention I'm now stuck behind Boss Taunt. So quite a few things have gone against me here, and I still haven't twigged. I am still, okay, I'm stuck on Bosk at this point, but you're looking at it, you're going, come on, snap out of it. And yeah, Boba Nuke's Boba Nuke's what I would argue is the second most important Ewok in low grey. Paplu's important as far as he gets the TM train going, but low grey is the one who shuts the enemy team down. So I was worried at this point. I was actually saying in chat, I think I've lost the round, purely based on this. It was rough, this, because you're thinking to yourself, they could still recover it. You know, there's damage from Wicket, and there is a bit of survivability from Alder. And we got the tank in Paplu, so it's not a complete given we've lost, but I've definitely lost low grey. I cannot revive him, so we're solely reliant on our damage overpowering them. I'm grateful in a way that we did manage to get a Terminator train going again. We were able to get Bosk under some level control, get Boba under control. But the trouble is, because we lost low grey, we were at risk. We couldn't assume we were going to win this. We had to essentially, it was a dogfight, and it was a battle that shouldn't have been a dogfight. Low grade done all the work at the beginning, and I misplayed. So I'm frustrated because this is a battle I would win. I would win a lot of the time, but because I got overconfident and I was just sort of playing it manually, if you like, I was just playing it without thinking. Yeah, I misplayed. And I'm grateful I got through it. You can see I full autoed at this point because I thought Bosk at Relic 6, he could take a bit of time to chew through without 3PO. But yeah, we got through it. But it was frustrating. It was one of those situations where I dropped banners and I know it was my fault I dropped them. It wasn't like bad team selection. It was just bad gameplay on my part. So it's frustrating because I tried to champion the Ewoks. You know, I do believe that they are a good faction. They're underrated, but equally, I misplayed them, and it's so frustrating because it sells the story wrong. You wouldn't think actually Dengar was a bad toon at this point, but yeah, he just succumbs to a big hit in the end. 60 banners. So in the end, it wasn't bad. We only dropped 5. You know, it's the equivalent to losing protection on all my toons, but yeah, it still feels painful. Sith Triumvirate versus First Order. Not a comfortable battle, I will be up front. In my mind, I'm thinking Hux is the issue. He's preventing our turn meter gains, so we need to get him out. So that's why I isolated Hux. The issue is we've then got Kylo Ren, who pretty much doesn't care about debuffs, he actually charges up on them. And we've also got Crew, who is going to be annoying and taunt. Now, I brought in Savage thinking, alright, okay, I thought we'd like that. Yeah, but Savage in just in the hope we can get someone into the Yellow, and then we got an insta-kill. Maul was here purely just to be a 5th. I thought, you know what, might as well bring another target in. At the very least, they might not go for Scion until he's got Alba Hatred. So, at this point, I'm going, alright, we've got Hux out, it's looking good. We've got control via Nihilus. So, the battle is going fine. The issue I have is it's such a slog. The only way I've really got of killing these toons is Nihilus, because they're so tanky. Even well, Execution's only gear 12, but he's still a pretty tanky bugger. You know, he's going to just keep... Well, yeah, he's just going to keep sticking around, because my Maul and Savage are going to do nothing unless Savage hits one of them in the Yellow. And Maul... Yeah, he's got more chance of clapping his hands and finding something brown in them than actually killing someone. So, yeah, it was a rough battle. We got the win, but you look at it and you go, yeah, it was a slog. You know, again, this is one where I got down in the dirt to get a win, rather than, you know, it was a clean victory. And it's not the way I like to play. I do like to have clean counters. This was as far from clean as you could get as far as how I play. So yeah, a little bit frustrating. We were able to get Isolate onto Kylo Ren. That did prevent him keep gaining Retribution. But yeah, still a little bit annoying because he's going to take a lot of turns still because of the debuffs on him. So yeah, it's like I say, it was a slog of a battle. I mean, look at that. We increase his cooldowns and he still takes the special. I know why. It's in his mechanics. It doesn't make it any less frustrating because it's like, come on, what is the point of a cooldown reduction if you can't have your cooldowns reduced? So, yeah. I'm just looking at this and I'm going, Savage, couldn't you have taken this turn? Well, you know, couldn't you have got TIE Pilot when he was in the Yellow and Red? Oh well. So, it's like I've said it a few times. We won this, it was a win, but it was a slog. And, yeah, I was grateful when Nihilus got the Annihilate because it meant, even though we got 59, it was a win at least. Okay, Phasma First Order versus Rolo. Another one, I didn't particularly want to do this battle. I was running out of teams. So I thought, alright, we're going to call Executioner for an assist. That will get Baze out. Then hopefully we can get get Princess Leia out, which we did. I tried to reduce Captain Orn's turn meter because I knew that Baze had come back. Yep, that was pretty predictable. I was worried about Rolo's offense as well, so we got that to contend with. We did manage to recover quite well. And this is what I was saying before with Temmin's bout, that this is actually a pretty good team. It can do some half-decent cleanups. It's just... Yeah, it's a bit of a meh team. You know, it won't beat anything good, but it can beat stuff around it quite well. So it's something to keep an eye out, like I say, something that you can't just throw random stuff at. Speaking of random stuff, this is all I got left. Yeah, this is awkward. I mean, you've seen I have not made big mistakes, I would say. I made the mistake with the Ewoks, and we made the mistake with... I think we dropped one battle, didn't we? I'll have to check my log, but I don't think we dropped a battle. If I do, I'll put it on screen now. But yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, by and large, we've been using what teams we got, but by this point I'd run out, like I say. I think this been happening too many times of late. We've been stuck doing random teams with Watt and Kylo Ren and Armourer, so it can't keep going on. And I will spoil a little bit the next round that we didn't end up in this situation, thankfully. I did adjust my defense to compensate, but it's wrong in a way. I shouldn't feel the need to reduce my defense to increase my offense, but it kind of showed during this round that I needed to. I mean, to its credit, right, this team actually does win. And Kylo is, I won't say broken, but he is good. You know, you look at it and you think, we've put the weapon tech on him, I believe. You know, and there was no need for the weapon tech as far as, it's not like he can ignore defense with it now. He's not going to need a permakill, but the one thing it will still do, it'll provide Temmin to whenever they take a turn. So it just means he's going a lot faster than he normally would. It essentially compensates for bad mods. Add in the fact that we got the 3 stacks of Beskar ingots on him, it means he's not being critically hit. So, in a way, there is something fun about this team, or at least this way of playing. You know, you're basically just saying to Kylo, you're a great toon on your own, you can do a lot of solos. What we're going to do is we're going to give you a bunch of stuff that help you solo it when you're not on your own. So it allows him to punch up a little bit, and it is pretty cool. I certainly won't advise anyone to do it because it's, one, a massive banner stealer, and besides that, you don't want to be in this situation. I mean, I'm doing this live and I'm thinking, have I got into this situation where I'm having to use Kylo Ren with 3PO, Watt and Armourer just to try and get something done, but needs must. That's as simple as it comes. I mean, I even threw Boba Fett in there thinking, at the very least, let's see if we can just get some crit damage on him as well. So, yeah, this was very awkward, but I mean, I haven't spoke much on this, I haven't been doing blow-by-blow commentary, but you think to yourself, Kylo's countering every turn, even if they haven't got Retribution, he would counter because the best got ingots. And yeah, they're just getting racked, hitting him, and they're not dealing much damage to him either. I mean, in a way it's beautiful, but it's also horrendous. It's like perverse beauty. It's something you shouldn't like, but you can't help. So, yeah, I actually decided to full auto because I thought there's no way these two are going to kill Kylo, Watt, or 3PO. So let's just let Kylo do his thing, which he does. So, again, I'm grateful here because it was a messy battle, but we got through it. So, we're going to move on to ships in a moment, and at this point, my opponent have full cleared me. They got wins in every zone, so it was like, okay, we need a win, and we're up against an Executor. So I was thinking, all right, we've got one shot here. So this is the play we always go. Hunted on Ounce 2, we do a basic with Silencer on Razor Crest. 6-star Executor as well, so that kind of upset my turn order. I really don't like facing 6-star Executors, I'll be up front. I need to learn how to counter it because it's frustrating. So I decided, right, I'm going past the turn meter to the team. We're going to Mass Assist on Razor Crest. And this is where the issue comes, the fact that they get back-to-back turns very fast and you don't have any chance really to heal up. You need to put the ability block on Houndstooth. The trouble is, Razor Crest and Houndstooth are going to take turns. Or at least Xanadu Blood will. Sorry, I didn't mean Razor Crest then. And yeah, as you can see, Echelon goes. Now, it's not the worst thing. As you see here, we're able to pass another turn to Silencer and we're able to nuke Xanadu Blood. Now, if I had another fleet, this would be a clean cleanup as far as, you know, if I could budget 4 fleets on offense, I would be able to clean up here. But I don't have 4 fleets, I have 3. So I need to clean this up in 1. And it also didn't help Plows in my Galactic Republic team on defense. Because, yeah, Plow really helps out. It's very hard to explain. I believe the AI is trained in an Executor team to bring an IG-88 if there aren't a lot of debuffs on the opposition team. So at that point, we were okay. It was alright bringing Ebenork in for that purpose. The issue comes when Slave 1 comes in. And at that point, you really want to be able to dispel the taunt that Slave 1 comes in with. Okay, just to add in as well, this was a Randus RNG. We got Breach on us. The AI, once Breach is on Silencer, it will go heavy on Silencer. So there was a few things going against us there as well. Once Silencer's gone, it's game over. Not just for this round, it's not just for this battle, but for this round. You know, my opponent's full cleared me. I've got Bob Opa winning. So, yeah, it's a bit disheartening at this point, I'll be honest. I can't, I just can't do anything else. Even if I'd got that fleet I've just referred to two-shot it, I've just got no way of actually recovering the banners to actually win, because if I recall correctly, my opponent one-shot everything. So, yeah, the only chance I had of winning this was full clearing with one-shots. So, yeah, this is just a painful rewatch right now, if I'm going to be brutally honest. I mean, again, it's RNG. If the silencer ant had been breached and then targeted, because like I said, the AI tends to go for breached targets, then I might have stood a chance. But as soon as it recognises that there's breach on someone, as soon as silencer gets breached, Razorcrest is going to try and mark it. And once it's marked, you've got to take a lot of turns fast or it's dead. So yeah, we've got 2 turns down. I mean, that's the way Exacta matches go. I don't hold grudges about it. I probably had the same RNG go for me, so I'm not complaining. It's just, it's the way this meta goes, and it's another reason why I don't like the Exacta fleet. So, yeah, I thought I'm going to try Geos here. I thought, I don't think they can do it, but I thought I want to see. I've got nothing to lose, so let's just try it. Let's see how much the Geos can do. And part of my thinking was, I wanted to save my Malevolence for the final fleet, just to try and clean up another one. I thought if I can clear this with Geos and then take the final fleet out with my Malevolence droids, then at least I've done okay on offense. But the trouble is I left myself short in reinforcements. I mean, Gauntlet really shouldn't have been here. It should have been with the Empire on defense. I've managed to rectify that since, but right now it was doing nothing. You know, I bought it in because I was like, I haven't used Gauntlet before, so I was like, I just want to play with it. Honestly, that was my mentality. I thought, you know what, I want to see what Gauntlet does, and honestly, it died that fast, not a lot. But I had a bit, I'd say I'd had a bit of fun, but at this point I was still salty about Exacta. I get salty about Exacta very easily. But yeah, it was a match I didn't expect to win, but still, it happens. So the final match of this round for Crimson, I took in the Malevolence leftovers versus the opposition's Malevolence. IG 2000 got nuked straight out the gate, so that's a bit unfortunate. We were able to recover though, that is the good news about this. You wouldn't think so just based on how it started though. The beauty of the Malevolence fleet is that sometimes it's actually worthwhile going undermanned, as far as if you can force the AI to kill your Vulture droids, you're going to get to an ult faster. So the match getting rid of the one ship I bought in, essentially, it gives more room for Vultures. The risky point, as you would guess, is if Hyena goes, I'm dead. Especially when the original Vulture goes as well. Thankfully it does grant us an ult, or grant us another turn to get closer to ult, but especially when the one ship I need to live is taunting, it is not nice, it's dicey. You know, you're thinking, I would rather not be doing this. So we cleanse Hyena, we managed to get a bit of survivability back on our side. We go for Spy, that's pretty comfortable, and then we just get rid of Scimitar, I believe, because I think the other Vulture had gone. So yeah, we did end with the win, 70 banners, but let's show you the final score. Yeah, the final score isn't pretty here, 1453 to 1776, and Executor cost me badly. I mean, I'm just going to review my offense again because I don't think I tripped. I may have had some poor banner battles, but I don't think I actually tripped. So, just looking at it, it's unfortunate. Again, I need to just check this top wall. I was talking through them all, obviously, but I was just doubting it. Yeah, we didn't even trip once. So, you look at it and you think, if we'd have won the Executor battle, then I would have been on course to get a full clear, and then it would have been tight on banners. But, yeah, it's unfortunate. It's the only way I can put it. I mean, all one-shots there. Again, I have to put relatively weak defenses down. I can't afford to go too heavy on defense. But yeah, all one-shots here. And the back wall as well, I believe, was all one-shots. So we just didn't get any breaks, which, again, you kind of have to accept, but it doesn't make it any less painful. I mean, look at that. I'm having to throw a talking team on defense. It's a bit of a joke, really. And yeah, the fleet's all one shot. So I can't help it. I haven't got the roster depth here. But this is Kyber 3, Kyber 4 at this point. I can't complain. You know, if I haven't got the roster depth, I can't be saying, I demand easier opponents. These are difficult opponents. So I respect the loss. It's how these things go, but it's just a shame it was against Executor. So those are the breaks. We move on. Okay, so a very quick overview of the baby account, Not Sabine Relic Night Sisters. And yeah, it's looking pretty good. We're 2-0 for the week. If we just go here, I was able to clear this wall pretty comfortably. I'll be completely upfront, I can't really remember what I used. This is the trouble with this account right now. I tend to be doing this one last. I didn't do it last time, but this time I did. Yeah, I think what we did was we did JKR here, and we did droids there, maybe? Ooh, I can't remember. It might have even been Bad Batch here. I know I honestly can't remember. If you want to find out, watch my stream. I'll be honest, I'm going self-plug. I'm going to use that as an excuse to self-plug. But the back wall was squishy. I did kind of hint at that in the last video. We took in Tarkin on one, and we did... Oh, what was my other AoE tune? Oh, I can't remember. It was Clone Sergeant. We did Clone Sergeant. So, yeah, those two got 68, 69 banner wins there. And then the rest, we got through them pretty comfortably. So, it was only Fleet that held us up. Our opponent, on the other hand, they struggled a bit. The top wall didn't bother them, but they couldn't get past my negotiator, it seems. They didn't even try my second fleet, so yeah, they got a bit stuck. And then when you go down south, gas and bounty hunters, I think they couldn't be the bounty hunters. Oh no, they actually stopped there. So yeah, I'm happy. So yeah, 2-0 for the baby account. I say it every time. If the baby account loses and the other three win, I'm happy. So yeah, at least we got some good results as far as Temmin goes, but yeah, I'd still take a loss on this account if it meant that all three of my big ones won. And that is it, everyone. I'm going to say we've had 2 wins, 2 losses this round. I'm okay with that. I think in general that is an okay record, but when you've got the Relic 7 Chief Chirper because Crimson loses, it is painful. So I'll tell you what, let's bring Crimson on the screen for a moment. Okay, so here's Chief Chirper. Relic 6, and I need 1 piece of energy to take him to Relic 7, so do we get it? Yes, we do. So, I don't know when this started, it was sometime in 2021, or midway through 2021, but yeah, we've had 30 GA losses now, so this is the crowning glory, shall we call it. I don't know how to feel about that. I think it's over. It's over. I think that's the overriding feeling. I have joked before I might do Jaws one time as a little follow-up to it, but honestly, I'm not going to do that for some time, especially on Crimson, because don't forget, I started all this when... I started all before the GA Crystal Income got changed, so yeah, now that it's a more important game mode, I probably won't be doing it, but it was a fun little thing. But I've got a strong Ewok faction, that is for sure. You never know, I might even relicate Paplu one day just to bump him up a bit, because he is a tanky so-and-so, but now we are happy. Although saying that, T-Bone might get a bit of gear just ahead of 3v3 because we're going to need a second leader, so T-Bone might get the shout there. Okay, so with that in mind, folks, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now, everyone.